All right, welcome to chair yoga, and I'm going to recommend some props to have today. We've got blocks, of course, the usual suspect. Strap, very important today. Bolster, let's have it just in case. And one last one we don't often use in this class is a ball. Now this is called a yoga tune-up ball, but you might have a tennis ball. You could use a golf ball, but it's going to be a little tough. A softball or a baseball, a cricket ball, some kind of ball if you have it. Don't worry if you don't, but that's what I'm going to recommend. Probably avoid a ping pong ball. It might get crushed under the weight. So we are going to focus a little bit on the feet today. And the feet aren't a common area of the body that we focus on in yoga. However, it's a very, very important one. So speaking of the feet, let's become conscious of where the feet are to start your class. One way to do that is to sit at the edge of your chair and lean slightly forward as if you're about to stand up. And then look at your feet and just notice what position are they taking when they prepare to take your body weight off the chair. Look down. Notice if the feet are parallel. Are they rotated outwards? Is one rotated outwards? Etc. Just notice, become aware, what position do your feet take? So my feet take about shoulder width apart, roughly parallel, so that if I lean forward, I can come up off my chair without twisting. So often we'll twist when we come out of the chair and use our arms to support. So encouraging you as much as possible to resist the temptation to twist and just to feel, oh, can I come out of my chair without twisting? And what position do my feet take? So that's a good experiment, just to see what's going on below the knees there. Let's roughly position our feet shoulder width apart, roughly parallel. And before we start, let's take a block between the thighs. Close the thighs in on the block, so the block is on its thinnest setting between the thighs. So that's going to move the feet in a little closer. And just notice, are you still able to stand off your chair with a block between the thighs and feet roughly parallel? Just notice. So it's going to be a different experience when the feet are a little closer. Gently press the block with the thighs. And then start to stack head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, sitting up nice and tall. Fidget the toes and feet. Let the feet become sensitive to the ground. Let your breathing slow down if you can. And then we'll do the 6 directions of the spine, holding the block between the thighs. If that gets too much pressure for your internal thighs, you can remove the block at any time. The first sequence is to simply inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, float the arms around behind you. Relax the shoulders. Arch the back and look up. And then exhale, reach around a big circular touch with the arms like you're hugging a big tree and drop the head. Now tuck the tailbone here so you feel a stretch in the low back. Inhale, lift up, look up, reach up. That's called the Alleluia position. Exhale, grab the back of the chair. Squeeze the shoulder blades and let them relax. Well, it's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? Squeeze the shoulder blades back, arch the back, look up. Exhale, hug the tree, drop the head, tuck the tailbone. Back to Alleluia. Reach for the chair, squeeze, look up. Exhale, hug and round. Do a couple more rounds on your own. Just finding the rhythm that works for you. So you're feeling your whole spinal column moving, flexing and arching, extending and rounding. And then pausing and once again becoming sensitive to the feet. Just notice how the feet are positioned. Have they rotated at all? Lateral movement of the spine, just rocking to the left and dangling into that zombie look. Dangling the left arm, left ear towards the left shoulder, using the internal muscles, the left side muscles of the core, the obliques, to stabilize you from falling off the chair. If you at all feel like you're going to fall off the chair, just grab the other. In fact, let's do that. If you can reach the seat with that right hand and lean a little more, so you get this big stretch right down through that right side of the neck into the right shoulder. Oh, delicious. Inhale, come up. Exhale, zombie to the right. Hold the chair with the left. Traction out the neck and shoulder. Couple more times, each side. How's that block going between the thighs? How do the feet feel when you lean from one side to the other? Option to keep going here and changing it so that as you zombie to the left, your right hand taps the back of the head. It's going to add a little more intensity to the braking muscles. And then you can even add more intensity to the braking muscles by arching the arm over the head. Good. One more on each side. Come back to neutral and notice your feet and your internal thighs. Adjust the block if you need to. Clasping hands behind the head, looking to the left and then the right. Just small rotations, feeling the upper body twist, left and right. You can add a little more intensity to this by having big wings and rotating left and right with outstretched arms. And then coming into a lower body twist, grab hold of the chair, lift up. If you can maintain the block, do so. And just bring the lower body into a twist to the left and the right. A little bit of core work here, hip flexor action as well. And of course you can do this without the block. Now the next time you rotate to the right, pause and drop the feet. Bring that right hand across in front of you and reach behind you and turn, leveraging against the chair, creating a deep low back twist. Exhale, release, and switch sides. Come back to neutral and release the block and grab a strap. So we call it a stretch strap. It doesn't mean the strap stretches. A strap that stretches is called a resistance band. This is a rigid strap, I guess you'd call it. Place it underneath your right foot and lean back. Lean back in towards the back of your chair. So you're sitting at the front, but you're leaning back, so you're pulling your body weight against the bottom of the foot. Slowly pull with one arm and then the other, flossing the foot with the body weight. So you're waking up the bottom of the foot. The bottom of our feet are usually inebriated, unconscious, because they're locked in shoes all day. They're insulated by rubber all day. So we don't get to wake the bottom of the feet up much. So right now we're stimulating the fascia and just noticing. Now the next time you work the strap up to where the ball and the arch of the foot meet, curl the toes back and start to lift that foot up. So now we see the relationship between the foot and the back of the leg. The higher we lift, the more we move it up into the hamstring. The lower we lift, the more we move it into the calf muscle. So play around with different positions here. Have some fun exploring. And remembering to keep the toes of the foot curled backwards. So that the back of the leg is lengthened. Now here, if you have a ball handy, we're going to stimulate the bottom of the foot with a ball. If you don't have a ball handy, you can use a block and just push the bottom of the foot against the corners of the block and rotate it. That's another nice way to stimulate the bottom of the foot. Otherwise, with the ball, just roll the ball underneath that right foot, through the arch. Notice if there's any sensitive parts of the foot, the bottom of the foot, and where they are. If you want a little more pressure, you can grab the front of your chair and bring your buttocks forward, and you can even stand the other foot on top of that foot, and you can really feel, oh, there's a lot more sensitivity when you apply more weight to the foot. So you can stimulate different parts of the foot with more weight. Now work the foot, or work the ball up so that the toes surround the ball, just the toes. So the 3 middle toes there surrounding the ball, big toe on one side, little toe on the other side. And push down into the ball with the toes, so you feel this stimulation in the toes. You lift the heel, you lower the heel. Once again, you can explore that on the block as well. And then release. Extend both legs out for a moment and just notice the different felt sense in each foot. Cross the right foot, the same foot, over the left ankle. Slide it up into a figure 4 and bend that knee. Grab hold of your ankle and toes with your hands and start to rotate the foot. Just turn it around like a big crank handle. Passive ankle. Squeeze those toes unless they hurt too much. Can you rotate the other direction? Now before we leave that foot, let's massage it out a bit, pressing with the thumbs and the fingers all over the foot. Don't forget to squeeze the heel around into the Achilles tendon at the back. Maybe wiggle some toes here, stretch some toes out. So this is all giving stimulation to the foot, waking the foot up after, particularly in winter where we encase our feet continually with boots and things, maybe Ugg boots at night, so the feet very rarely get that stimulation now. Now let's compare the stimulated foot to the other foot, replacing it. And noticing perhaps that stimulation runs right up the right leg as well. Let's try the other side. Just grab the strap. Bit of flossing here. Remember, flossing is the more you lean back, the more weight you provide, waking up the other foot. Feels great. If your feet are sensitive, of course, this may be a little rough in the beginning, but over time, the more you expose your feet to stimulation, the more they'll enjoy it, the more you'll miss it. Work the strap up to where the ball and the arch meet, and we'll do our leg lifts, just exploring the difference between the leg when it's lowered and when it's raised. Toes curled back, spread out. So often our issues in the bottom of the foot, sometimes called plantar fasciitis, can be a result of the lack of stretching to the calf and hamstring. As that gets tight, the fascia at the bottom of the foot tightens up, clogs, becomes very sore. All right, when you're ready, we'll transfer to the ball or the block. You kind of start light on the ball, and then if you want to add weight, you can come off the chair holding yourself and push down on the foot. Make sure the chair is stable here, you don't want it to flip over on you. But adding that second foot can be really helpful to deepen the massage. Don't forget the back of the heel. There's the pinky toe side of the foot, that long edge to the pinky toe. There's the middle, and there's the big toe edge. So you can think of 3 parallel lines through the base of the foot. And then of course come to the toes, wrap the toes around the ball, lift and lower the back heel. So you feel the toes stimulated as well. And then once again, extending both legs out, cross left ankle over right, come up figure 4. We'll do our foot rotations here. And really grip those toes and ankle nice and strongly. So the ankle feels supported. It doesn't feel like it's going to do the rotation. Rotate it in both directions. And then when you've done that, you can go into your foot massage, just stimulating all the parts of the foot, from the back of the ankle, Achilles, arch, ball, toes. Really give those toes a nice wiggle and stretch, squeeze. And hopefully we've got 2 stimulated, awakened feet for the rest of our practice. So bringing that foot back to earth. And just noticing what's it like to waken up the bottom of the feet, as we now move up the legs into the hips. So we'll start with hip rotations. Moving the knees out, legs out, about 90 degrees, one at a time, alternating from side to side. And those who've been with me for a while, you can add resistance by pressing your hand against the direction of the thigh that's opening or closing. And the next time we open to the left, pause. Adjust yourself towards the edge of the chair and start to heel toe the right leg out to the right of the mat. So left knee bent, right knee straight, pinky toe edge of your foot pressing down towards the ground. If it doesn't reach the ground, you can bring the foot a little more forward to the top of your mat. Or you can place a towel underneath the pinky edge of the foot. And we're simply going to lean into that front thigh and then lean back. So just floating the hips back and forward in this shape. Just noticing the different stretch sensations that brings into the upper legs, the hips. And the next time you lean forward, lean elbow onto thigh and reach the back arm up and over. Back up and down. Back up and over. That's it, just working the shoulder, moving the stretch into the ribs, shoulder joint. Over and hold for 3, 2, 1. Now press down into the front foot and let that bring you up. Drop the back hand and lean back. And now we'll float the front arm down and up, over and back. With the lean backwards into that reverse warrior. Back and hold for 3, 2, 1. Now push into both feet and let that bring the torso up into a neutral position, arms extended, front and back, warrior 2. And now we'll dance our way through those 3 positions. Neutral, warrior 2, lean forward, over, side angle pose, back through warrior 2, back and reverse warrior. And I want you to notice your feet as you do this. Do they still feel alive? Hopefully they do. Now the next time you come to warrior 2, pause, grab the chair, and we're going to rotate the torso to the left. So relax the back leg, bring it towards the mat a little bit more, and swivel on your chair. Grab the back of the chair for support. The right buttock should be suspended. The left thigh is on the chair, left buttock is on the chair, and then extend the back leg back and bring it forward. So you're just working the leg back and forward. As you bring it back, you'll feel the low back arch as you press the heel away. And as you bring it forward, you feel the low back relax. The next time you bring it back to the ball of the foot, push back through the heel. Rearrange your front foot. If your front foot is floating, put a block underneath it. And then swinging that right arm up and down, up and down, up and down. Up and hold. If you feel stable, bring the other hand up into your lunging warrior. Notice how the feet feel. Hopefully they still feel stimulated. Exhale, relax the arms. Grab the chair for support. Relax the back leg. Slowly make your way back to neutral, facing the front. Become aware of your feet right up through the legs into the low back, hips. So there's a lot of stimulation we've done here for the lower body, even though we've worked the upper body as well. Let's release any tension here by grabbing the knees and doing some torso twirls, nice and slowly. Letting the head swivel as well. Torso twirl the other way. And the torso twirls I find relieve my low back after all that work, because in the warrior poses the low back is working quite strongly. Come to pause, come to hip openings one at a time, with or without resistance from the hands. And the next time you open to the right, we're going to heel toe that left foot out. And once again, making sure that front foot is grounded on a block or the floor, depending on your leg length. And then we'll simply hip sway forwards and backwards, waking up the hip flexors and the hips and the upper legs, the internal thigh. And the next time you come forward, lean that right elbow on the thigh. Lengthen through the outer rib cage and lift that back arm up and over, up and back. Just working that shoulder joint in that range of motion, in that plane of motion. I believe it's the frontal plane. Up and hold. Inhale, push through the front foot to bring you up and drop the back hand behind you, leaning back. And then the front arm sweeping, arcing, rainbowing over the head and back. And notice what sensations that brings to your ribs. How do your feet feel? Can you feel the bottoms of your feet still? Back and hold, reverse warrior. Float up into warrior two. And then dancing the three warriors, side angle, warrior two, reverse warrior. Resting whenever you need. And the next time you come into warrior two, pause. Drop the hands for support. Relax the back leg. Swivel to the right this time. Hold the chair, the right hand onto the back of the chair for support. And we'll simply bring that left leg forward. Stretch it back onto the ball of the foot and then press through the heel so you feel that back leg engage, tighten, and then relax. Once again, just become aware how the low back works when you engage and strengthen that back leg. The next time it comes back, pause, arm sweeps up and down, left arm. If you feel stable, left arm up, hold, right arm joins, lunging warrior. Exhale, gently release the hands, relax the hips, hold the chair for support, make your way back to neutral carefully, slowly. So by this stage, my whole body's feeling the stimulation and blood flow. Let's do some torso circles for just a little relief. In each direction. And then pausing, edge of the chair, knee lifts through, marching on the spot. Now marching on the spot and pulling the knee back to the ribs. So you're lifting that foot a little higher. And as you do foot taps onto the thigh. So you tap one foot on top of the opposite thigh and back. So you're getting a slight internal rotation of the hip as you do that. And you can probably see where this is heading. The next time you lift it up, foot tap, and then rest the ankle into a figure four, and then back down. Opposite side, foot tap, rotate the knee outwards, figure four, and back. So we're really lubricating the hip, preparing it for a figure four. So we often hold that as a static stretch. Very rarely do we do it as a dynamic stretch. And as you get more fluid, you can just come straight into your figure four. And the next time that right ankle is over the top, hold the figure four. And then leaning forwards and backwards. So we're feeling a pigeon-like stretch here into the piriformis and outer hip. And then you can fold forward and hold as long as you like. You can bring your arms forward, you can drop your head, whatever feels good here. Slowly come up, maybe give the feet a smack. All over, toes, top, bottom, sides, back, front. Then working that slapping all the way up on the inner thigh, down the inner calf. Shin, quad, underneath, and back of the leg if you like. That can come back and notice the stimulation you've created there. Okay, figure four either side. Static stretch, lean forward and backward, or dynamic first. Until you feel like hanging out there in that forward fold. And slowly come up, and we'll do some slapping on this. Starting with the feet, the foot. Moving up the leg. All around the leg. And when that's nice and loosey-goosey, we can put that back and just notice, oh, yes, leg stimulation complete. Check. Ready to rest? So rest positions, options. I'm going to use the bolster behind me, cushion behind me, sit back, bring my feet up onto blocks. Some of you who know the recline position on the mat with legs up on the chair, you have that option. And in today's Savasana, let's endeavor to focus the relaxation and ease just on the bottom of the feet. You could almost imagine the bottom of your feet are two twins trying to sleep, and you're lullabying them to relax, rest, and let go. So this is a great practice, simply to focus your attention on a very particular part of the body. And even if you don't know how to relax the bottoms of your feet, you can pretend to. Just pretend you know how to do it, inviting the bottoms of the feet to soften. To maybe expand. Even to melt. To let the muscles and nerves in the toes go limp. And those arches that work so hard. Let them rest. And before we move away from foot Savasana, perhaps sending some gratitude to the bottoms of our feet for all the work and weight that they carry during the day. every day. And then once again, just allowing the bottoms of the feet to wake up, spread the toes, lift the ball, drop the ball, lift the heels, just rocking through the ankle joint, maybe forwards and backwards. And opening the knees out, coming onto the edges of the feet, and then bringing the knees together on the inner edges of the feet, rocking side to side. And let that become a stretch in the whole body. Oh, big stretch. And bringing the hands together at the chest in gratitude for our practice today and for our feet. Thank you everyone for joining me. Namaste.